Hello and thank you ever so much for joining me today. I've got a simple card to show you, and sometimes the most simplest of cards I think have the biggest impact, and I've used the Happy Birthday thinlit dies here, and then I've also used the balloon punch using some glimmer paper and some ribbon, so really lovely and simple. And I've created this monochrome frame as well. So I want to give you some tips that I've used for cutting out paper using the thinlits, but more importantly as to how you get glue on them to be able to stick them, because they do become quite delicate when you take them out of the Big Shot machine. Sorry. So let's just start putting this together first. So the first thing I'm going to use, I use pre-folded cards. I've always used them. I just prefer to do that. I didn't get one out of the bag beforehand. There we are. So pre-folded, this is 5 inches by 7 inches, and this card is in landscape. So the first thing I've got, so my 5 by 7 card, and then I've got a piece of black card that is 6 3/4 inches by 4 3/4 inches, and then a piece of white card that is 4.5 inches by 6.5 inches. You don't need to worry about writing any of these measurements down. They are all on my blog, and I've left the link for that in the description bar. So I've just put some double-sided tape on here. Just take that off there. And then I'm just going to put that on the card. I can't see the fold when the light's shining on it. That's it, I can see it now. There we are, I've got that there. And then take the backing paper off of this one. And I'm going to do exactly the same with that, and just position it centrally there, so we just get a bit of a frame. So when it's closed, it then will look like that. So the first thing we're going to do is deal with this bit here. Now, in the past when I've used thinlits before now, I've tried to glue them so they come out like this, like they'll be cut out in paper, and then you try and glue it, and then you stick it down, and then the glue spreads, and it's all a bit of a mess. So I tried to think of a way that would eliminate that, and it's a bit time consuming the way that I've found, but it works and it sticks down nicely. And what I've done is I've got a piece of black card here, and this measures it measures big enough to fit that in, and I think that's about, well, let's get a ruler, I can tell you, that is 3.5 by just over 3.5, but it could be 3.5 square and it would fit. And I have stuck some double-sided tape onto the back of it. And then what we're going to do, we'll feed that through the Big Shot like that, and then the double-sided tape will be on the back of that, and we can just take the backing off. And it does take a little bit of time, not a massive amount of time, a few minutes at the very most, but it's quite intricate. But the effect is that this sticks on here first time and no glue seeping out all over the place. So I'm going to get my Big Shot out. I've got my magnetic platform, and I'm going to start by putting my paper and the double-sided tape is downwards. Then put on my die. I'm going to put that over the top there, and then I'm just going to feed that through like that. Put that back to one side. And when I'm using these really intricate dies, I use a pin to poke out all the paper. So let me show you how this works. So we pull that out like that carefully, to poke that out. And I'm just going to get rid of all of these bits here that we don't need. Okay, so then we're left with, oh, there's a little bit left in there. Just check that you've got everything out. Got that little bit there as well. So that's everything. Now, in order to take the whole image out, I'm just going to push that through there like that and get most of it out, because if you pull it, it is quite, because this die is quite intricate, it's also quite delicate. So just use a pin and just push that through there and then start to pull it away very, very carefully. You don't want to tear it. So that is what we're left with, and then my pins disappear, there it is. So now what I want to do is just take off all of this yellow backing paper. And it does take a few minutes. Once you get going, it doesn't really take that long at all. Just need a little bit of patience. And maybe for some of you, you know, I'm not the world's most patient person, but this is better than, can you imagine if you had that and trying to put glue, wet glue on all of that and then sticking it down? It's not funny. So I'm just going to pick all of this off. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me, so I'm just going to press pause while I finish taking all of this off, and then I'll show you the finished effect. Now I've been doing this for about 40 seconds to a minute maybe, and most of the backing paper is off now. It is a little bit time consuming, but not really time consuming. There are alternative ways of doing this. You can actually buy paper that's got a sticky back to it, but again that adds to cost. And if you aren't really that bothered about time, then this isn't really a huge issue. Just some of it is a little bit fiddly, and I do just use a pin to get it off, or my nail, and that bit is absolutely refusing to come off. There we go. So almost done, just got a couple of little bits and pieces to go, and we will be there. That's that one last bit there. Oops, there we go. So at the most, I don't even think that took me 2 minutes to do that. And then there we have our happy birthday that's got adhesive on the back of it. There's something not quite right there that I just want to sort out. That's it. And I'm going to get my card, which I put down somewhere. There it is. There's my card. And this happy birthday bit I want to be kind of top right, top left even. So I'm going to put that there, very carefully lay it down. And there we have it. A perfect happy birthday. Completely perfect. So there we are. So the other thing that I want to do is put some balloons on it as well, like this one. And I've got some gold and some red glimmer paper. So I thought what I'd do is just to put some extra colour in it, is have 2 red balloons and 1 gold balloon. I did have some silver glimmer paper, and it's walked. From when I used it this afternoon until now, it has walked away. So I need to find my balloon punch. So I've got my balloon punch. I've got 2 different sizes of balloons on here. So let's get my red glimmer paper, and I want 2 of these big red balloons like that, and I want 1 gold balloon like that. And then decide where you're going to put your balloons. I've lost my gold one already. There it is. And I think I just want to have the balloons like that, I think. Once you're happy with the placement, then what we need to do is then think about what's going to be hanging from the balloons. So I've just got some scraps of ribbon here. This is gold ribbon. So I'll just have that short one there, and I want them to all kind of come together at the bottom. So we'll have that one there like that. And then that one there like that. So this is where it all starts to get a little bit fiddly. So take one of your balloons, and we're going to be using that's everything falling on the floor. We're going to be using these mini dimensionals. So I'm going to put one here, and then I'm going to get my ribbon and just put that there, and I'm going to put a dimensional on top of that. These dimensionals are really quite super sticky. They will stick to anything. And then take the backing off. And I'm going to stick that there like that. And I'll take this one, put my dimensional on there, put my ribbon on there, if you make a lot of birthday cards, this balloon punch and the happy birthday thinlit dies are just an ideal couple of things to have on hand as part of your stock, just because balloons are just associated with birthdays, aren't they? And this is a nicer way of saying happy birthday rather than putting a stamp. So if you want an alternative, if you don't mind picking off bits of double-sided tape. So I'm going to put that balloon there like that, and I just then want to trim this ribbon to here so that they all then finish there. Just take my scissors, just take my very small scissors here, and I'm just going to trim there like that. Oh, that one didn't want to cut. And I'm just really going to stick that down with some glue. So I'm going to stick that down with there. So I'm just going to take some little bit of double-sided tape. Just put that there and stick that down there. And there we have a simple yet really effective birthday card, just with a little bit of colour, a little bit of glimmer, and a lovely monochrome setting. So thank you ever so much for joining me. A nice quick card for you to have a go at, and don't forget to join me again soon to see what other projects I have, and you can hit the subscribe button to make sure that you see them as soon as they come out. Thanks ever so much. See you all again soon. Bye bye.